Hi, I'm Shoestring J and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and sustainable. And today I thought I would just go through 5 frugal things that I have done this week. These are always popular for some reason, these videos. So I think it's because, you know, you can focus on the big things and the budgeting and trying to make lots of extra money and trying to save big chunks of money. But ultimately, if you consistently save small amounts of money, it can really help you stick to your budget and it can help you reach your savings goals and all those kind of things. So I think it's easy to control. Those things tend to be quite easy to control. As ever, I've got Lola the cat owing and moaning and demanding attention in the background. I'm going to go and give her a little stroke. Anyway, without further ado, 5 frugal things that I have done this week. So I'm in the car, I've just come out of Home Bargains, and although I'm having a bit of a spendy day in that I am spending some money, I am trying to spend as little as possible. So I have finally had a haircut. I think it had been nearly 4 months that I'd had my hair cut, and it was desperately needed it. So I went to my really lovely lady called Katie, who I discovered last time, who charges $34.99 for a cut and blow dry. Now that is cheap here. I don't think I've paid less than, unless I've gone to the college, which is obviously £7.50 or something, but it takes so long and they're on some holidays now anyway. You can't get a cut and blow dry for less than £45 here now. So to find this nice little hairdresser, really friendly, just a guy and a woman who run the show, who don't overcharge. I mean, she even said, do you just want a wet cut? I thought, no, I'm going shopping, so I do want a cut and blow dry today. But it's good to know that I could make it even cheaper and just go in for a wet cut and wouldn't get judged by them like some people do. So I did that, and then I took a load of chews back to Pets at Home because we'd been buying Archie what we thought would be things that he could have, treats that he could have. We give him a chew before bed, things that he could have wouldn't upset his stomach because they were pure meat. And through a process of elimination, we have discovered that all of these expensive chews that he loved were actually upsetting his stomach. So Justin had a load at his mum's and I had a load, so I scooped them all up. I could prove that I bought them because I tend to buy things online, and the record of the purchase is on my Pets at Home account, which is handy, and it came to nearly £32 in refunds. So I then went and bought the cat food with that, and I had to pay something like another £4 on top. So I bought a big bag of the biscuits that they like, Purina 1, which you get cheaper anyway because you get things cheaper when you're a Pets at Home customer. All of their Licky Licks, which is the only way they'll eat the biscuits. So they were £1 for 5, which is actually really good these days. And what's the other thing I bought? Oh yeah, a big thing of Felix, because Dora, my fatter cat, not my older cat, she's the younger cat, she enjoys a bit of wet cat food in the afternoon. So I give her that. The other one is not bothered by the wet cat food. So I bought 40 of the Felix, as good as it looks, and it looks awful, let me tell you. So I bought that, and it cost me £4. So normally that would have cost me, what, 30, what did I say, it would have been about £36 something. So that was worth doing, wasn't it? So effectively I got that for not very much money. And then while I was in Home Bargains, I thought, I'm actually gasping for a coffee. I've got water with me. I didn't bring a coffee because normally I take a coffee with me, but I was going into the hairdressers and I just thought, no, I won't take a coffee with me. I didn't fancy it that early. So I popped into Home Bargains. It's really cheap in there. Let me tell you how much I paid for that. A coffee in there was £1.79 for a large cappuccino. £1.79, that's an absolute bargain, and it's fine. Put my own cup in. It's fine, honestly. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, so that was a bargain. And then I went in and bought just a few bits. I bought some hair dye because I do my own roots. They didn't have a great deal of choice, and they didn't have what I normally buy, which is nice and easy, but this one is natural. Well, it's medium ash blonde. Normally I go for a light ash blonde, but it'll be fine just for the roots. That's all I do. And it was the only permanent blonde one they had of the right colour. I bought some tomato food because we have been just using using up some container food, which isn't really the right thing. So I bought a big thing of tomato feed. I think that was £2, which seems like a good price. And Justin is absolutely obsessed with this stuff, hot pepper sauce, and he will put this on anything he eats. So it doesn't matter how bad my cooking is, it will taste the same. So he has hot pepper sauce on everything. He's obsessed with it, completely addicted to it. And there was a worldwide shortage. It was nowhere. We couldn't find it anywhere. And then I found a couple in the back of the cupboard that I'd forgotten about. And they're only 99p each. And Home Bargains is actually the only place we've ever found them. So he'll be pleased when he discovers that I've got a couple more just in case there's another shortage of that. So that's it. So that's all my shopping. I'm not doing any more actual shopping. Oh no, that's a lie. While I was in Pets at Home, I just popped into Aldi and bought milk and chicken because Archie obviously he eats chicken, and we are going through the milk. So I'm not buying anything else this week. Food wise, I'm going to use what we've got because we've got plenty in the stores. Oh, it's too hot to sit here, so I'm going to have to get moving. It's heating up again. That heat wave is coming back. My next stop is going to be the charity shop because I've got a couple of bits to give them, and I'm going to have a look for stock while I'm in there. So yeah, next stop, charity shop. So I'm back from shopping. I feel really hot. It's getting really warm again. We had a few days of respite, but we're building up to another heat wave here in England. So I know, well, here in Essex anyway, I know even bits of England aren't getting the heat wave. I wish we weren't. I just do not like being overheated, but Archie hates it. The cats don't seem to mind it. They seem to quite like it. But as you could probably guess from my shopping and my conversation with you in the car, one of my frugal things was taking the trouble to gather together all of the chews that Archie we think is allergic to and taking them back to Pets at Home. And as I also mentioned in the car, that got me nearly £32 in refunds. So that was really worth doing, and that paid for almost all of the cat food. So that was my first frugal thing. I've got my receipt here. And the other thing was that if you sign up with Pets at Home, if you do use Pets at Home, and you sign up with them, get Pets at Home card, it does give you money off. They're turning into Tesco's, I think. My Licky Licks, which is this stuff, Lola particularly, she only wants biscuits, but she'll only eat, well, she'll eat a tiny few biscuits, but if you want her to eat a little bit more, and she's a skinny little old cat, she will eat anything if you put this on it. So I buy these, but they've been shrinking. I've mentioned this in previous videos. I'm pretty sure that several years ago, they used to be 8. When these first came out, they used to be 8. They've gone down to 5. If you buy them from Home Bargains, there's only 4. Somebody mentioned in my comments that you could get them in Poundland. I suspect there will only be 4 or 3 for £1 in Poundland. So this was actually a good deal. I can get 5 for £1. They would have been £1.39, but because I had the Pets at Home card, they were £1. So I stocked up on those. I got the biscuits. These are the biscuits that they like, and I tend to buy this size Purina one. That lasts quite a long time, at least a month, you know, perhaps even more. I've never really paid attention. I should do really. So these would have been, I think it was £16. Oh, that would have been £15.49, and I got it for £13 with my card. Then the other thing I got was a 40 pack of Felix, and that was £15, and I got that for £13.50. So again, it's worth it, isn't it? It's worth having the card if you're going to use Pets at Home. And I did also realise that I had a money off voucher for Felix in my purse, which I forgot to use, but it lasts for a bit longer. I think it was for a 12 pack actually, so I'd have had to buy a 12 pack on top. Anyway, so that was kind of, let's have that as one frugal thing, the whole pet thing, getting the money off as well. And then I did mention going to Home Bargains, but I forgot to tell you what I spent altogether. I forgot to tell you that was £3.99. So I told you about the coffee, didn't I? I can't find the receipt now. So the hair dye was £3.99. Now that's really good now. I used to be able to get hair dye for that, and now it's like up to £10. I've seen it in the supermarkets. Not this particular brand. In fact, Clairol. I don't know if that's usually cheaper or not, but it's hard to find it for less than about £6 now. So grabbing that when I see it. I didn't buy more than one because this was the only one of this colour on the shelf. Plus I haven't really tried it. I think it might be a bit dark. You can see it's darker than mine, but as I say, for my roots it's all right. It's grey, it's going on to grey, which makes it go lighter, and it's sunny, so all of those things will make it go light. So I know that from past experience. The tomato food, it was 1.2 litres for £1.99. I think that's really good value, and the hot pepper sauce for Justin was 99p each. So that cost me £7.96 altogether spent in home bargains. I don't go into home bargains much because I have to want something specific. I do think if you just go in there and browse, you can end up buying a load of stuff you didn't want, didn't need, and just impulse purchase. There's so many things like chocolate and that kind of thing, and the garden centre bit is really good value, but I didn't let myself go in there today. I only looked on the shelves where the tomato food was because I needed tomato food. So anyway, that was that, and then I went into the charity shop. So I am, because June and early July I was on a spending freeze. So I had mentioned in previous videos that I've overspent, and I just put myself on a buy only essentials month, and I have kind of got through that, but I'm still being careful, very careful, and trying not to buy anything that isn't essential. However, I have allowed myself to buy a few items of clothing because I find with the hot weather, I'm very, very short of things that are very cool. I just don't have a lot of cool clothing. So I bought this top, which I've worn a couple of days now. This was in my video that I did on Wednesday. I got this from Vinted. Can't remember how much it was now. It's only Florence and Fred. I think I paid maybe £5.50 or something, including postage. So that's not too bad. And then I went into the RSPCA charity shop and picked up a skirt. Now, I never wear skirts these days. I used to wear skirts all the time when I worked, long sort of midi skirts, because I'm not somebody who's got the legs for a short skirt, sadly, or shorts. This is a monsoon skirt, and I paid £4.50 for it. Monsoon used to be kind of expensive, and it's just a long, very light denim. I guess you'd call it chambray, wouldn't you? It's a darker colour, so it's a very light midi skirt. So I'm hoping that'll look nice on. I'll try it, but again, I was thinking, well, if it doesn't look nice on, I should just stick it on Vinted. So I always get my money back, and sometimes I even make a bit of money. I picked up these because I actually need some rubber gloves. Last night I was thinking I could do with a pair of rubber gloves. Don't wear them very often, but if you've got something like a really grubby job, they were in the charity shop for 50p. This is actually the other one. So RSPCA is one side of the road. You go across to a much cheaper one, which is an independent cat rescue one. And I picked up those gloves for 50p. And this Dorothy Perkins, so I mean, it's not vintage, but it's old, cotton. It's a long sleeve top actually, but at least it's quite cool. A cotton top for all of their tops are £3 actually in that shop, so that was £3. So it's just kind of an ivory colour. I haven't tried that on, but I just thought I need things that aren't sweaty. I'm looking all the time for nice quality fabrics. I'm looking for cotton, I'm looking for linen, because wearing polyester, I mean, this is actually a mix of viscose actually, but it's still quite cool. But wearing pure plastic clothing in this weather is just grim, and I try and avoid it anyway, really. So the other item I got for myself was in the children's charity shop. I think it's for me, but maybe too small. I've got quite a lot of these. It's not good for summer. It's a Jules pure cotton top. I've got several of these. I wore these all through the winter, so this is not really a summer one, but I like them because they're nice quality. They're just very simple. They look nice with a pair of jeans, and they tend to come up in quite nice colours. They're very identifiable as Jules, aren't they? So women of a certain age like these things, and I'm that woman. So hopefully that will fit me. I love the colour. I think it's really nice. So 3 items of clothing for myself, and then a few bits that I hope to sell for my vintage shop. I didn't get loads. I've just remembered I've got, because this charity shop it doesn't have a car park, and the only car park nearby is for the co-op. So I always try to go into the co-op and I buy something and get a receipt, because I've had a ticket before from parking there and I didn't want to get a ticket. So I've actually realised I've got a quiche in the bottom of this. That needs to go in the fridge. I've only just got back, so it's not been hanging around for long. And I also bought some milk, because I'll put that in the freezer. I don't need it right now, but I make yoghurt with that, so I'll put it in the freezer. I don't need to make any yoghurt right now. I thought if I'm going to have to buy something, let's buy things that I need and will use. So quiche will be for the freezer as well, just for one of those nights when I can't be bothered to cook. These are like Irish coffee glasses in their box. I don't know the make. I've never tried. Oh, Dima it's called. I've never tried to sell anything like this, but I do know that kind of vintagey things like this do go. They do sell. I don't know whether very much. I can't remember how much. I don't think because they often don't price things in here. So you take a chance because they don't charge you much. So let's just show you them. They need a good wash. They're very dusty. They're just little glasses. They just have coffee special on them. I think they are made. They're not made in the UK, I don't think. Dima. Oh yeah, they are. They're made in the UK. Fabriqué en Angleterre. There you go. Right, so that's one thing. Trying to break them. And then I also picked up these. I'll try and work out how much they charged me at the end. I'm trying to think what they charged me overall. Some clover leaf. Now the box is totally bashed. I'll have to repair this with sellotape. But I thought the box was actually rather nice. I really haven't got hardly anything to sell on. There's very little. These rather lovely vintage table mats. They're clover leaf. And there are 6 of them. They're all in good condition. And in the box, which as I've shown you already, is not in good condition. A bit bashed up, but I can repair that. Oh, I forgot. There's another item of clothing. I forgot I bought that. And there's just a little christening plate. Winnie the Pooh, Royal Dalton, in very good condition. A christening gift. Well, I'm not sure who actually gets their kids christened now. Some people do, don't they? They must do. We still have churches and we still have religion. I just haven't heard of anyone getting their kids christened for a while. Obviously mixing the wrong circles. So that was that. And then, so I bought 1, 2, and then the other things I got. I'm trying to think what they charged me. Can't remember. And they don't give you receipts. I need to remember because I need to make a note of it. And I've got this like just loose floaty cotton kind of crocheted top, which I think is lovely. And okay, that's not super cool because I would have to wear something underneath it, but it's nice for an evening, isn't it? I just thought it was really pretty. So yeah, I think most of their clothes they only charge you £1 for. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, say 7. And they charged me £5 for all of this. And I don't really know if this is a good buy or not, but it's lots of it. They charged me £12 overall. And I think they charged me £5 for this lot. So anyway, this is just a nice little vintagey, it's made in Japan, it's not made in the UK, set. So this is, I don't know, a sauce or a sugar bowl, I guess. It's Wentworth China tulip, made in Japan. I'm really going to be careful not to kill this. And there is also 2 serving plates. So a smaller one. Just think they're really pretty. Look nice on my dresser, actually. I think they're really pretty. And then a really big one. So I have to be really careful with these. And a really big one here. So I'll probably split those up. I don't know. I have no idea if I paid too much for £5, but it seemed like a reasonable amount to pay, really. So yeah, so I like to experiment sometimes. I don't, you know, I'm not an expert antiques dealer. I like to feel my way, and I tend to go for things that I like, which isn't necessarily the valuable stuff. So I just like chintzy, shabby chic type, cottagecore type things. I like them for myself, so that's what I tend to buy for my little vintage shop. I do have a link to my shop in my video below, so feel free to go and have a peruse and purchase if you want to. Nice cold cup of tea. I made this when I first got in. I forgot about it. So that was really all I bought from 3 charity shops, which is not very good really, but I find that they are generally so overpriced, and I try to really think about what I'm buying. So I don't just want to buy loads of stuff. If I go to a boot sale and it's really cheap, I'll take lots of chances and buy lots of things that I don't really know much about. But when I'm in the charity shops and they're charging a little bit more, then I don't. I try and restrict myself, especially at the moment, because, you know, things are still quite tight and I don't want to overspend. I want to actually make money out of what I'm buying. So we'll see if I do. Anyway, let's get on to some of my other frugal things, and let's start with the garden. Right, let's have a look in the greenhouse. This one, as I've shown you this before, it's broken. So it means I have to climb in to show you. Right. So I have some little aubergines arriving, and this one's my biggest one over here. So despite the plants looking a bit threadbare and eaten, the little aubergines are coming. I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, that one doesn't look like it will develop. I don't know, we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5, I don't know. Hopefully I'll get more. My basil's also being eaten. I'm going to make some more pesto with that. I've got chilies and peppers, which are not doing much at all. I've got some flowers on there, but they are all getting eaten. Oh, I did these earlier. They're absolutely bone dry. Give them another water in a minute. Yeah, so not much else going on. The peppers are not really successful, but the basil is good. Got some outdoor tomatoes here, quite a lot of them on there. They need a bit more support, those. Some herbs, parsley and thyme and sage. Lots more tomatoes on here. The little cat up the garden there. You see her? Okay, so in the other greenhouse, lots of things going on here. So we've got some cucumbers. You can see that cucumber there. There's another one here. Little way to go. Lots of tomatoes. I have been picking these as I've gone along. But well, they're ripening. You turn your back for a second and they're ripening. I'm starting to think I just dreamed doing the watering the greenhouses this morning, because they're so dry already. I have to do them again. I did them properly. I did them with a hose as well. There's another little cucumber hiding under there. I mustn't lose track of that one. More tomatoes. So it's really just tomatoes and cucumbers in here, but they're looking okay, aren't they? It's very, very warm in here. Let's get out. Hey, little girl. Hello. Where's that other one? Oh, there she is. Oh, Dora, you're looking very grubby. Been rolling around in the dirt. The hydrangeas were all from my dad's garden because they're a bit weedy, but look at the colour. Isn't that beautiful? It is lovely. Beyond that we have courgettes. They're on their way. Courgette patch looks good, doesn't it? Coming here. They're all going to come at once, aren't they? Won't be long, will it? Just a day or so. And then the squashes are doing well, growing up the log pile, growing up the gazebo there. They won't be ready just yet. Not sure when they'll be ready, actually. Now, my pak choy, I don't know. It's just gone to seed. I've never grown it before, but it's completely gone to seed. Broccoli's doing okay. And I think we're at the point where we can... What's this called? It's kale, but it's Caballero de Nero or something, isn't it? So we're almost at the point, I think, where I can have some of that. So I'm going to pick some leaves for tonight. Layla, what are you doing? The corn on the cob, as expected, did nothing because I only had 2, so there's nothing developing in there. I didn't really expect there to be Nasturtiums are all lovely. I must remember to pick some flowers for my salad. Oh, I've got lots of runner beans coming. What's coming? Everything looks so dry, it's so hot. So lots of those. I think I've messed up my chard a little bit. Obviously not using leeks just yet. Been eating the chard, but I think I've kind of watered and let the leaves get wet when it's been too hot. So some of them have got a bit sad looking. Obviously this is not what you want at all. So I'm going to try to get right underneath when I water so that I don't water the leaves. Same with the beetroot. I could probably eat some of these beetroot actually. I love grated beetroot and I love beetroot soup. Cats are just following me around the garden. And obviously we've only got these two little tiny raspberries plants. So I've already picked anything on there. A couple more coming through here. I think the birds have already had half of that one. But I've had a few. Put them on my breakfast. So not bad. Oh gosh, it's too hot out here. So this is my other frugal thing. I picked up this really lovely linen, beautiful jacket, long line summer jacket. It was Autograph, which is M&S, and it's Baird McNutt Irish linen. And it was 50 pence. And you think, why? Why was it 50 pence? Well, I'll show you. This is why. You can see it's got kind of some weird discoloration. It may be bleach. It may have been that it's been washed and it's been left wet next to something slightly pink. And it's all the way down this side. Or it may just be that it's been left in the sun. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it would do that, but... So I don't know. So what I've done, I thought for 50 pence, this is a really nice jacket and I would wear this. I would wear it in its current colour. But I have ordered, I've played safe and ordered black. I didn't know. I was humming and hawing, thinking, what colour should I do it? It's a light colour, so it could probably take most of anything. And then I thought, well, I'm going to wear it most if it's black or navy. And I found some Dylon fabric dye, which you could put in the washing machine. It was £8, so it's dearer than it used to be. I've done loads of towels and things with it before. It's dearer than it used to be. But I think, well, actually, if I end up with a really nice smart jacket for £8.50 that I can wear for years to come, then that is a bargain. So I will show you that in another video because the dye has not arrived yet. So I am really, really hot now. So if you count my cheaper than average haircut, that's actually 6 frugal things, isn't it? I like how she cuts it. I don't like how she styles it. It always kind of pings out until I wash it myself. But I like how she cuts it so it actually sits nicely at the end of the day and she blends the layers in. So I said I'll probably see you in another 3 months, but she's getting married in 3 months, so I have to probably try and time it around that. But yeah, so that would be 6 frugal things. I actually did some other frugal things because I went to a garage sale with my daughter and I picked up some really lovely books. And let me show you this book. Because I don't like flying, because I don't like flying, I hate the whole airport experience, and I don't like the idea of flying because its carbon footprint is just horrific, isn't it? So never say never. I'm not saying I would never fly again, but I am trying to fly as little as possible. So I found this book at a garage sale. This cost me £2. I think it was £2. Might have been £1. Oh, actually, no, I bought 3 books and she charged me £5 for the 3 big books. So this was one of them. So let's call it £1.50. And it's a lovely book and it's got some beautiful journeys in it. And me and Justin were looking through and thinking, obviously we can't go anywhere at the moment because his mum's so poorly, but one day we want to do some of these. So you can do a grand tour of Switzerland by train. Sometimes they're by boat, but a lot of the time they're by train. They don't seem to do a lot of bus things. But there's all sorts. Grand tour of Switzerland, a Zurich trail, Danish design. So this is, you go through Copenhagen. Is it all Copenhagen? Something called Aarhus. I don't know how you pronounce that. Denmark's second city. Billund. I'm probably saying all of these wrong. So it's quite a long trip. Some of them are like 2-week trips. Some of them are a week trip. So obviously we've got to get dog sitters. A Baltic adventure, that looks fun, doesn't it? You go through Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. That's interesting. So interesting. They also actually do mention buses in that one. And there's some in the UK as well, but they just look so interesting. Oh, this is the one. Now, we had a Swiss student staying with us, and he was telling us about this trip. Look at that tunnel. It goes through the mountain, and he says it's even more amazing in the winter when it's all covered in snow. But it just looks beautiful. So you start in Zurich, you go to Chur St. Moritz, or to Chur and then to St. Moritz. And I mean, that looks fabulous. I mean, okay, you've got to get to these places, so then you might weigh up whether you would fly, or for me, I think I'd start with the Eurostar and get into France and then go from there. But it depends how long we've got. But I just thought this is so interesting. This is just the kind of travelling I want to do, around Europe, by train, by bus maybe. And just, you see things differently, don't you? And you also don't have to deal with airports. So yeah, I think that's great. Anyway, that is pretty much it for now. I hope you enjoyed my frugal things for this week. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and look out for my Wednesday cooking videos. I've started a new series called My Frugal Kitchen, showing some of the cheap stuff that I make to eat. Cheap and healthy, I hope. Anyway, as I say, if you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.